There's nothing else I can say to that, but damn!
Welcome to another version of the Independence. We talk about what's going down up in this wrestling business. Hosted by the boss, his name is Cody Fleming. That's the homeboy. Go home, boy, before you get evicted. We about to get it on. Your boy Josh Harper, the favorite in a row. The real deal, Hill, Lady Bills is a beast with the mouthpiece. Talk dumb and up on the floor. Tell me where to go. Every week we do this. Hit him with a little bit of sweet chin music. And I only beef over cake like Brutus. The barber and Ann Arbor, M.I.W. go hard like. Where do we come from? What do we do? Dissect matches and break down moves. You're tuned in to an interlude. When I look into the middle of your mind, that's an interview. Independent, you better get with the movement. We only winning, we never been in the losing. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube and see us on the news.
Booyah! What is crack-a-lacking out there, ladies and gentlemen? Hey, this is the first time ever that we have done a live interview on the Michigan Independent Weekly group page, whatever you want to call it. Thank you to Mr. Mike Blackwell of BCWA for joining us today. What's crack-a-lacking,
Thank you, bro.
man?
He's up there.
What's up, fellas?
Yeah, he's up that way.
Yeah, he's up there. You know, not a whole lot. What a crazy time it is in the state of Michigan, and not only in the state of Michigan, but I mean in the world and in the United States.
I can agree.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, well,
It's unprecedented, to say the least. I mean, we're looking at a social dynamic, a dilemma we've never experienced, a crisis that many people have never lived through. And then when you break it down to the fundamentals of independent wrestling, or wrestling in general, or events in general, I mean, we're looking at something unprecedented. So it's certainly a different time.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, so BCWA, you weren't required at the time to cancel the event, but you made the choice. You know,
correct.
You said, hey, listen, it's not about the money. I care more about the fans and their health than I do the money. And you decided to cancel that show. And not a bad decision, you know, in any right, because here we are today where the governor decided that we're on a stay home order, basically. Yep. So
yeah, that's news to a lot of us in a lot of ways.
They can't hear him. Yeah, I just turned it up.
He's audible now. Okay, so Cody, can you hear me?
Yeah,
we got you now.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So that was a different Cody, not the other Cody. It was Cody Hunter. But we're looking at a strange time, and I think for a lot of us, this notice from the governor was really unprecedented, and there are a lot of people right now that are kind of scrambling, sitting at home, not knowing what to do about their day-to-day, and then, you know, their passion, their hobbies, everything else kind of falls into place afterwards. It's a strange time to be in.
Yeah. Well, you know, there was, 8 shows that were supposed to go down over the weekend, one of which were going to be yours, you know, and, you know, you had, 8 shows, and then all the shows that were, I don't know, what did we say? There was 24 shows, 25 shows.
Yeah, this was supposed to be the month.
In the state of, for just March alone, and now, we're out till April something now.
13th.
Yeah.
Well, no, fellas, it's going to be longer than April, but I think that if you were to look at the global situation at hand, the fact that China had, you know, gone through what they've gone through, Italy, other countries, I mean, this is not something that we should have been caught with our pants down. I think that anyone in a position like ours, where we put on events, we should understand what's coming and what's going to happen, anticipate it. And no, April's not going to be a good month. I don't think for us, for anybody, and I think that it's a recovering month.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk a little bit about BCWA. Okay.
Sure.
It's how long has BCWA been around now total?
I started in 2007.
All right. So 2007. Wow. So that's
12 years.
12 years.
13 years. Yeah. 13 years.
13 years. Uh-oh, I think something just happened.
It was kind of weird. It was like a digital distortion, if you will, but.
Uh-oh. There we go. It came back.
Still here?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead.
Live, for some reason, live popped out, but it's technical stuff.
We're good.
We're good, dude.
It's the non-essential shutdown.
Yeah, that's non-essential shutdown. I love it. I'm trying to share it out here. So you've been around 13 years. What was something that, why did you go, hey, I want to start a wrestling organization? Like, what made you? I mean, one day you wake up and say, hey, let's start wrestling.
To be honest, because I was told we couldn't. So.
Well, so it sounded kind of like one of those, hey, I couldn't do it, so I'm going to do it.
Sort of. There were a lot of us that were passionate about wrestling, and back then we probably shouldn't have been, but we were. And we decided, you know what, we're going to do this, and we've got the means, and we'll make it happen. And we did make it happen, and I think we crossed a lot of boundaries, and we did the wrong things at the wrong time. But either way, we still did what we did, and I don't regret any of it. But when we started out, it was not the right thing to do or the popular decision by any means.
Right. Now, 13 years, or yeah, what did we say? 13 years total, man. That's insane. So you come along, here you are now. You're at the 13th year, coming in, and you had, was that your first press conference that you guys did for the show that you had there?
No, we've done quite a few, but it was the first time that we actually had like podcasts there. I mean, we've had Detroit News and Free Press at one point in time. We've had a couple other, different outlets there, but it was the first time we opened it up for all the podcast guys. Because when we came about back in the day, that wasn't a thing.
Right.
Social media wasn't a thing. YouTube wasn't really a thing. Drew had done some pretty creative stuff with Beyond Wrestling and kind of made that its own thing. But back then, it wasn't a thing. So, our press conferences were local newspapers, the News Herald, things like that.
Right.
This was the first time it was more of a live multimedia sort of event.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, even up until a few years ago, it wasn't, 3-4 years ago, it wasn't big. Everybody's still really new at it, doing this. I mean, you've been running for 2. I don't know. I know Dan's been running, for a little while.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Knockouts in 3 counts. I don't know how long they've been going.
Been going for a while.
Quite a while, yeah.
They've been going for a while. Heel Fan News, they've been going for a while too now, But, so you do all them things. What are you what are you doing? What is your mission like for BCWA going forward?
The main goal is to have fun. And when we came up in 2007, my daughter was a young little girl, and she loved the wrestling shows, and she was the princess of BCWA, and she just loved being around the environment. And then, we had a turbulent few years, and we shut down because financially it wasn't responsible to run. And then the wife got pregnant. We had a little boy, and then he's taken into this. And for me, selfishly, it's to put on shows that my son enjoys and that other families enjoy. Outside of that, this is purely for good, wholesome family entertainment. Outside of that, there's no other motivation.
See, that's kind of with me. That's how I got started. Was my boy wanted to go to wrestling, and Andrew D'Arcy started Blue Water Championship Wrestling back up. And he wanted to do it, and then he says, hey, I want to be a wrestler someday, Dad. Well, I wanted him to learn the respect. So I talked to Andrew. He started working ring crew with us. And it just that's how I ended up in the whole thing is, just trying to introduce him to a business, and to the business because he loved it so much.
Yeah, and we all have different goals. I mean, a lot of these young men and women that are making their way in independent wrestling are looking to make a career out of this, and some of them have, and a lot of them will, and then there are others that are, they're content with an escape. They're content with getting to do what they love in front of a live crowd and entertaining fans, and they're okay with going to their 9-to-5s. So it's a happy mix of everything, and like Allison Kay is an example from us that, she took it the extra step to make it a career for her. Right. While there are others like Blaine Bordeaux and Ken Cash that at that point in time in their lives were happy with this being a part-time endeavor,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, is there something that you're looking forward to doing as far as maybe bringing somebody in? Is there somebody that you haven't brought in for BCWA that you would really like to?
Oh, absolutely. I have a dream, because I'm not a huge wrestling fan, but I'm a huge fan of Jerry Lawler, and eventually that'll be a thing that's on my bucket list. Outside of that, it's let's just get the companies together and work together. And there is something coming this year that will include a lot of local independent promotions under one roof, working together to achieve a common goal. And we're all going to work together for one show this year. It's going to happen. That I'll let you know when it's fully set in stone. But
right, yeah.
You
don't want to cash.
I mean, yeah. As far as goals, Cody, guys, we're just looking to have fun. And
we definitely do. It's definitely fun. I got to give you that.
We want to give the fans a professional experience that they would, when you go to the movie theater, you expect certain things. You go to, an event, you expect certain things. And we want the same thing for our fans. An expected experience that they know they're going to get complete professionalism, the best staff, the customer courtesy, the whole 9 yards, plus wholesome family entertainment. That's our goal. And outside of that, I mean, we're just, as performers, the guys are trying to have fun. And they're treated well, they're taken care of, and they put on the best show they can for the fans.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of fans and BCWA and things that happened, something absolutely it did happen outside of BCWA concerning a BCWA title. No less, too. Yeah. Now it was
on his day off.
On his day off. Now hold on a minute here. Let's
that happened.
Let's. It was originally just going to be the Dread King.
Yes.
Versus, Colton, and then the man here, the boss, comes on and puts the title on the line.
Well, because I believe a man is only as good as his word, and if this man, this king, is going to go out there and claim to beat on some young victim, well, might as well give the victim a chance to get an opportunity.
And boy, did he.
Yeah, well, you had all kinds of opportunity when the whole family turns on you.
Yeah, well, you know what? He should have anticipated that. Yeah. And if he would have maybe done some dishes, maybe relaxed a little bit on the schoolwork, maybe relaxed a little bit on the chores, maybe they wouldn't have turned against him. I mean, who's the real villain there? But old Colton, he's the champion. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, and those of us who are married know, you don't mess with Mama Bear's babies.
No, you don't.
That's just the way that works.
If Mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
There you go.
The way it works.
Now, the thing is now is everybody's wondering what's going to happen next. Do we eventually, once the smoke clears here in Michigan or in the United States and we're all able, and we get the all clear and wrestling happens again, do we see Colton in a ring and BCWA, or do we see a rematch before that? And I mean, the Dread King just the other night on Rasslin Rage in the chat was talking about Karam, Isaiah Broner, and him. I'm like, what are you talking about? You just lost to that dude.
Well, I'll tell you what. If he brings Karam and Isaiah Broner and everyone else in, I guarantee you Studio 86 will stand behind old Colton Winchester, and we got his back.
Oh! Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Studio 86 is going to help out Mr. Winchester.
If we're talking about, odds against the young man, we're going to step in.
Right.
We're all about a fair deal. So if they work something out, and I'm still not sure that referee was licensed by the state of Michigan, so we're going to have to dig into that. But
there you go.
I mean, as it stands right now, we have New Alliance champion. Now, who knows when we dig into that referee's credibility or not?
Yeah.
But I mean, because if that referee wasn't licensed by the state of Michigan, the match is null and void.
Right.
Just depends.
What I really want to see personally, and this is just my personal, and I keep saying it, and I'm gonna keep saying it, is the cardboard death match, dude.
Oh yeah, the cage match.
Yeah, the cardboard cage death match, dude.
What is a cardboard cage death match?
Well, the cage is made out of cardboard.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we obviously.
How do they climb that cage?
We'll figure it out when we cross that path.
All right.
Corrugated
You
cardboard.
figure it out. You just let me know, okay? I mean, I've got nothing but time in my hands, fellas. So
There
I
you
mean,
go.
we can,
You know, I came up with one of the reasons I think that Logan lost was he's so used to fighting 5, 6, 10 guys at a time, one-on-one. He didn't know what to do anymore.
No, yeah, I think Logan is so he's wrestling so many people, he knows how to let them wrestle each other. He can take the opportunity. I mean, maybe. I've known Logan for a long time, and he met his match the other day.
Yes,
I mean,
he
I don't
did.
know what to say.
Absolutely.
Oh, he says hashtag not always. So we were wondering how this was going to work out, was whether it was going to be hashtag sometimes, hashtag once in a while, or how that was going to work.
Well, let me try to look and see what's being said right now. I mean,
Yeah. Well, definitely.
something about a vacuum. I don't know. I'm just,
The vacuum had a big pop, that's for sure.
I don't think I've ever seen a match stop for that reason before in my whole life.
Right. No, Cody Hunter wants to face me in a cardboard death match for some
We can make it
reason.
happen.
I don't know why. But anyways.
we can make it happen. That's a good pre-show.
There you There you go. For the right to be called Cody.
Right.
Sure. Now, BCWA, we're looking at April, May. When are we looking for the next show?
Ideally, when we canceled the March show, when I canceled the March show, well, actually, and that was a decision made by two of us. I don't keep current with up-to-date events. I don't watch the news. I don't watch television. I was told by my business partner that some stuff's going down. So I did some research. I looked it up, and I started looking into it. And I said, wow, God, we can't do a show. And we decided to cancel March. Now, not knowing the full aftermath of what's going down right now, we canceled March and we set up April.
Right.
As it is right now, April 13th, we're coming out of a statewide stay-at-home executive order. I don't feel April's going to be a show, and I'll probably have to cancel April as well.
Yeah.
Which instead of lining up for June or May or July or whatever, I think we're going to leave it open-ended until things settle down. So I don't believe April will be a show. I've already reimbursed everyone for their March ticket sales, and I believe April's probably going to be next to follow suit because, be realistic. We all want to be optimistic. And we all want to promote our shows and sell our tickets and do our thing, but it's more of a disappointment to the fans when you commit to something and you fall through than just being straight up in advance. And that's where I stand. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's great to be optimistic, but let's be realistic. And I don't feel that April is going to be a viable option for anybody in the state of Michigan, at least to be successful.
Right.
So,
and that's a fair,
Well, we don't know if this thing is going to go away for a little bit and then all of a sudden kick back. We don't know those things yet.
Well, and we have to look at, too, that we may or may not be experts in our trade, or, you may or may not be subject matter experts in what you do. But understand there are professionals out there that have spent a lifetime researching this.
Yes.
And that their main job is to predict these things. And it's looking kind of bleak.
Right.
So, anticipating that, I feel it would be wise for all of us to just say, hey, listen, let's just take it as it is, see what happens, and let's just not set a date in stone until we know that we can commit.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's kind of where we're all at.
Yeah, because, I mean, I know, right now everything's just speculation, but they're talking July, August, September even,
Right.
They're talking even 18 months to a year. Some of them.
Right. And we have to look at the social responsibility, too, because, sure, they might restrict some rules, and they might allow some things to happen. But so it'll just say, for example, if the 13th of next month, they said we're all good, everything's back to normal, and we're still not at the plateau of this epidemic, we're still not at the peak even. So then we continue these events, and then now we've taken something that was dying down and we've now allowed it to spread even more.
Right.
You know, I think that as a responsible member of the community, my job isn't to try to sell tickets. My job is to wait and see when society's ready and when we're able to jump back in and get back in the mix, because we're always going to be here. It's just a matter of when.
Right.
There you
Now,
go.
one of the things I like about BCWA, and you've said it a few different times, it's a family show, and it's not just it's not something you just say. You know, when you bring the kids, they get the thunder sticks. You put out the promos. You have cheap snacks there. But when the March show got canceled, you said not just as a promoter, but as a father, you felt it was your responsibility to cancel that. So that just kind of drives home the point that it's a family-oriented show.
Absolutely.
Well, you know, and every profit we make from a show is given back to the boys, whether it be in payroll, whether it be in food, or it's given to the fans in freebies. You know, like we give freebies at every show, free stuff. That all comes out of the profit from the previous show. Yeah, I mean, it's stickers, thunder sticks, you know, mega like bull horns or whatever the case. We give it back because we're not looking to make a profit. We're looking just to have a good time.
Right.
And everything we make, we give 100% back into the company. In a situation like this, I would just rather give the fans 100% of the refunds and just wait it out. We've got a ton of merch. I've got 86 merch. I've got 2 new BCWA T-shirts. We've got BCWA custom lucha masks. We've got BCWA, just a ton of merch that I've bought over the last 6 months that we're trying to give away and sell at these shows. That's just going to sit on my front porch until our next event. I mean,
all right, listen, I gotta put this out here. I want one of those shirts, man.
which one?
The one you're wearing.
That one right there, man. The one
You
you're
like
wearing.
this one right here?
Oh, dude, that's bad.
What size do you wear?
4X.
Well, I don't have that.
If you got it in 3X, I can make that work.
These shirts are
they
custom
keep in
made,
stock.
and I've got like 7 or 8 of them, and they're 2X. If you can wear it, you can have one.
Dude, I will love
I'll bring
one
them. I'll bring them at the next show. You can have one. You don't have to button it up.
That's
You're
awesome.
gonna have to give them two X's, and you'll have
I'll
to
put them together.
Whatever. Feel free.
Well, hey, you gotta wear it the same way. Don't button it up. I have an extra large shirt at home that I just don't button up. I can wear it. It just stops.
There you
like
go.
here.
Yeah, you wear the T-shirt underneath and leave it open.
Exactly. There
That's
you
it.
go.
Oh man,
That's
I'm
the life.
slick then.
Oh, listen to these
Yep.
guys. Well, you know, I think we have. Well, we don't. I think we have a lot of people. We have a few people in here, and I was wondering maybe if you guys in the chat might want to ask Mr. Blackwell some questions about BCWA, maybe about anything else. Don't be dinks, of course. But we'll open it up. And what's that?
And I'll even put it out there. You can ask whatever you want. I don't care how appropriate, inappropriate. I don't care what the question is. But you guys might have to read it to me because I don't wear my glasses.
No, that's
so
all right. We can
I
do
have to
that.
really squint at the screen to see
Right,
what.
absolutely. That's not a problem. Before we get some questions in here, we can see if they start rolling in. If not, cool. But as far as the events go, I do have to say, man, it is it's an experience. It's family friendly. I enjoy it. I enjoy going. I enjoy the interaction that there is. I've always said, and not just BCWA, but independent wrestling as a whole, I've always enjoyed that up close and personal experience of the independent scene. And BCWA is one of those organizations that fosters that, with the intermissions and the VIP experience that they offer with the VIP, where you can get in a little bit early, you get the VIP match, and then you also get your VIP experience with the wrestlers as well. And Frogun's a stable there. He's the champion right now.
He's my man.
Right, and so you get to not only that, you can meet the Frogun all the time. Along with any other talent that's there. And just the last show, they had Colt Cabana. So
yes,
there was a last minute surprise to the fans.
That was really cool. I know that Skyjacker was man, he was crazy about it. And then when he seen Colt sign with AEW, he was like, Dad, I just saw him. I mean, it was awesome for him. And, from stepping away from the MIW Rasslin Rage, as a father, to be able to bring Connor with me, it is just awesome because he absolutely enjoys the show.
All right, so we got a couple things here in the chat, but first off, Nick here says, I can't wait till all this blows over. Can't wait to get back to BCWA and get some of that merch and see some great wrestling. Want to say Mike is awesome.
That's right.
Now, Mr. Caton here, one of our favorite people, I'm late to the party. He says, please tell the Bully King he has nothing coming on the Alliance title tip. So he doesn't think that the Dread King should get a rematch.
Man, Greg, that's harsh, dude, for you.
I mean, he gets a rematch. As it is right now, I don't feel it was 100% fair. We'll give him a rematch. Whether it's at our show or whether it's done in the cardboard steel cage of doom, I don't know. But he gets a rematch.
Oh.
So, and then we have, who should get a shot at the BCWA Heavyweight Championship?
Well, right now...
Who is the next in line for the BCWA?
Well, I mean, Justin Maine still has an opportunity.
That's my boy right there.
But I've been on the phone with Colt.
Oh.
Colt also has an opportunity.
Oh, there we go.
Frogun is your undisputed champion, but Justin Maine has more of a stake than anyone else. But then I also understand that Orlando Christopher's coming back to wrestling, and he's got an opportunity. So, you've got a lot of options there. And,
that sounds like a fatal four-way.
Well,
that sounds like a tournament.
Well, in Blake 182, Blake 182 has said that he set his sights on the heavyweight championship now that he's back. He said now that he's back, he's got something to prove. I mean, and we've seen how determined he was the way he went after Ely.
He almost hit the ceiling on that frog splash.
And a lot of guys feel that way, but that really comes down to, I mean, the right place, the right time, where are you at? I mean, it's who knows. Right now, though, I can say the Frogun is your undisputed BCWA champion. Justin Maine he's got a reason to come back. So he has an open rematch when and if he decides to take it. I know his acting career is taken off, so he might not be an option. We don't know. But there are plenty of people lining up for that opportunity, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think once you guys can start running again, BCWA is definitely going to be something to be looking out for, man. These guys are hungry and they're coming.
They don't
one after
lack
another.
Any talent on the roster.
Oh,
so
no.
It's not like it's a there's
Harum, Isaiah Bronner, Justin Maine.
Everybody's chomping at
everyone
the bit to get to
and we have an open
every
door.
One of them would be an amazing match too. It's main event quality every time.
We have an open door with every independent local talent in Michigan. I mean, one thing that I consider before we bring somebody in for a regular multi-event basis is, how often do you work in this area? But for the most part, we've got a whole list of great Michigan independent wrestlers. And, even in Canada and Ohio and Illinois, we've got a lot of guys that are, that are waitlisted and trying to get in and trying to get an opportunity. Plus, there are other names that we've been working with that you never know. You never know who it's going to be. But we're always trying to give the best show to the fans that they can't see anywhere else. And that's important to us.
Well, and Mr. Crush comes from up our way.
Yeah, he does.
Now, in the last show, we actually saw Meatball knock the stuffing out of Patient 1. Do you have any update on that?
I do. So Patient 1 was a little loopy. He's not really digging the whole vibe of the H3RD, and I think that you might find some other H3RD members that might disagree with that. So who knows what's going to happen there? But Dr. Meatball might have some other people to help voice his opinions going forward.
That I'm waiting for.
Right,
Oh yeah.
Now there's Greg again in the chat here. He's full of wisdom apparently. But he says he believes that Colton Winchester should be one to have the next title shot.
Yeah, I don't think Frogun is going to take that as loosely as maybe the Dread King did.
Right,
I think Throw Gun will kick him in the head as soon as the match starts.
Oh, man. Very good. Very good. Well, I want to say thank you so much. And I know the guys here.
Yeah.
This is awesome. This is the first time we've done a live interview together. This is the first time we've done a live interview on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We've had a couple of firsts with BCWA and the boss man here.
Yeah.
That's the goal, baby.
He's the first one to actually have us going at the show.
Yeah.
That was the first time we done that. He's allowed us to cut our teeth there, which we appreciate. Thank you.
Sure.
And hopefully everything is better, man. We get the first time live on our Facebook page. I mean, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I appreciate it. And listen, our goal is to give the best thing we can give to the fans, and to help the people that care the most about this business, to give them an opportunity to voice their opinions and get out there as well. So, I mean, you guys are a great asset, and we're happy to have you on board. And anything we can do to help, we're here.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And, it's feeling is mutual, sir.
Absolutely.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Hey, you know what? It's one of the places I can even go and I can handle this guy. I mean, he don't get on my nerves so bad.
Right?
No, because he's
Well, that's
making a
'cause I have
ton of
those
money
hot
selling
dogs.
ice cream.
Yeah, that's it. He feeds me ice cream, and that's what keeps him alive.
It really is.
It does. It really does.
Well, thank you so much, buddy. You have a great night. We look forward to seeing BCWA back as soon as possible.
Thanks, fellas. It'll be back soon. I promise.
All right, see you later, man.
Thank
Be
you.
well.
All right. See you guys.
Check it out.
Later.
It's r2youtube.com. That's R2 youtube.com, and tell them Velvet sent you. Oh, yeah.
I wanna rock!
Rock!